We're rolling into week 2, and we're looking at the waiver wire again. Today, we're doing a deep dive on all the running backs. We got a big batch of running backs for your shallow leagues, your deep leagues, helping you for even maybe some of your dynasty leagues if we can go that deep for you. But we're going deep on the running backs. We'll go deeper throughout the season too as running backs get banged up. We're looking for handcuffs. We're looking for the next week. We're getting more data points of what to pay attention to. And there's some trendy options right now due to some news that has happened that we got to pay attention to. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're going deeper than anybody else on the waiver wire. Every single week, we've been consistent for years, going deep, giving you the information you need for you to make your decisions because it is your team. And on top of that, I recognize it's your team and I help you out setting your lineups, matchup videos, rankings, battle videos, giving you information for you to make your choice because you guys are smart too and I'm here to help you out. I love you guys. Click that button. Stop missing out. We are starting off with Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson got the work. 12 attempts, 29 yards, 8 targets, 8 receptions on 15 routes ran. Solid. We do have some rough matchups coming up. Baltimore on the road, Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and those could be just rough matchups for the Browns. Those could create some game scripts where he has to get some opportunities in the passing game again. We also have Quinshon Judkins coming up. But like I said, back in rookie camp, and you need to follow me because I have the clips from rookie camp, mini camp, OTAs, and we talk ball then, and that's when we see some of these highlights of these young guys and start catching that information on how these depth charts are turning over, and we're watching that, and we'll get into that more here in the next few players. I looked at these two running backs as the Bash Bros. I look at Quinshon Judkins as possibly being like a top 10 producer in fantasy. And then Sampson still holding value, being a good RB2, maybe volatile, but a guy on your roster that you could use. And that's probably going to happen this year. That's probably going to happen. He's probably going to have more weeks where he hits. It might be off and on, but still a good guy to have on the back of your roster. I would not spend too much fab on him, though, because if we catch an Armageddon of running backs, we're going to see a lot of running backs step up here because we got a lot of rookies right now waiting for their opportunity. Like Quinshon Judkins, he's going to be back. It sounds like they're going to push for him to come back. They're down one game. They're 0-1 right now. They got a tough slate of games coming up. Jerome Ford does not hold a candle, really, to Sampson and Judkins. Like, he's a good running back. He's good enough to get him by. He's good enough to help buffer these running backs for their ramp-up period, for them to come off the runway. But over time, when it comes to talent, like Judkins, a first-round quality running back. He got drafted early in the second round. This is the deepest, most talented running back class of all time. He would have been the first running back selected easily in last year's class. Definitely ahead of Jonathan Brooks. He has 2 ACLs. And Quinshon Judkins is going to be back. If he's on the waiver wire, snatch him up. He would be my number one priority due to the upside. Due to the upside of being a top 10 running back, top 12 running back, even with bad game scripts, bad opportunity with the Browns. And if it doesn't work out, I wouldn't even care. I'd just move on. But I want to see the upside, and taking on those risks with that upside chance is what's going to help you move forward through the minutia of your leagues. And if he can hit to that upside, that's going to allow you to be a league-winning team. Trey Benson, another upside player, and he had that big run, right? And we saw that speed. Some people question that, but you remember he got to slow down a bit. He got slowed up. He's got speed to burn. He's got those 4.3 wheels. James Conner, rocking solid last year. Didn't get banged up. He did a little bit, but nothing tremendous. Trey Benson, though. Like, if something happens to Conner, you're going to want him. And they're going to use him. They're using their running backs. He's going to get good opportunity. He's getting touches. Snap share's fine for a backup running back. He had 2 RB2 weeks last year. Some good indicators. Bhayshul Tuten. Now we're getting into the camp reports. I dropped the video on him last night after the news. I like Bhayshul Tuten. I look at him as a pickup. There's a lot of strategy here with this backfield. There's a lot to look at here with this backfield. He is a pickup this week. He may not be getting as much touches as you would think or you would like if you pick him up initially. But I look for Travis Etienne to be the main guy here. getting the substantial workload, but I would be picking him up. But I think he will be a little bit more expensive depending on who the managers in your league listen to. Because also LeQuint Allen is getting work on third down, and he's getting a lot of that work. He got a little bit more reps than Bhayshul Tuten, 14% snap share, got less carries, but this guy can block his face off. That's the thing about that. That's going to allow him to be out on the field, and he's going to be getting work out in the flats. He's going to give you some upside for the now, maybe crossing the goal line in the red zone situations. He's a good running back. I will have a deep dive on him today, and we're going to go deeper on this Jaguars backfield, and we'll probably keep doing videos on it because I'm always digging. I am always digging, and I never stop. So if I do another video, it's just more information coming at you. And I said I'm not sleeping on either running back in the previous video, and I told you I was going to do this video and that video as well last night because LeQuint Allen is a prospect I liked a lot. He was one of my sleepers coming into the draft that we were watching heavy where he goes. And we had the notion in this backfield that something was going to happen, that one of these veterans are either going to step in and step out. I think we saw what happened, and that the cream's going to rise to the top. I think if I'm a Jaguars fan, from what I'm seeing here, and we'll dig in later, that there's a lot of cream. I'm also picking up LeQuint Allen. I think I might be able to catch him cheaper, depending on who your league listens to. You need to know your league. I would try to get the cheaper one if I do not directly need production now. Allen could be a little bit cheaper. I see Tuten get a lot of hype from the fantasy bros, and I'm seeing a lot of people also give Allen some hype that are looking at the touches and workload. Ollie Gordon, solid pickup, solid running back prospect, not so solid team in week one, but still you're chasing touches, you're chasing opportunity, you're chasing talent. Maybe you're shuffling your deck here with your lottery ticket running backs. That's fine to do. There's a lot of them up there, and really that's what you're mainly doing with the waiver wire right now because there's not many injuries. So you're just shuffling your deck and seeing what's happening out there with DJ Giddens. He got a good amount of workload. Game script broke, though. It's not going to be like that every week. But he's the RB2. If Jonathan Taylor goes down, he's the next man up. If I have Jonathan Taylor and I'm looking for a back to pick up, I do not want to drop my fab right now on Tuten or whoever else is next up. Sampson. Giddens might be it for you. That might be your opportunity. You get him for $1, you hold him. Maybe he gets banged out and he's out for a game or so. You put in Giddens, you're good to go. He's cheap. He got 25% snap share, which is good for a rookie in his first game behind a stud running back. Game script broke, though. 12 rushing attempts, 41 yards, 3.42 yards per carry. It is what it is, but still, the touches say he's next man up. Tyler Allgeier. He is the ultimate handcuff right now. Bijan goes down. You got a former 1,000-yard rusher sitting there waiting in the wings. That's going to get a lot of workload still, especially in the red zone. And he will have one or two games this season where he will spark up some fantasy points even with Bijan out there because they still use him. And that's an indicator that they like him, and we've always known that, and that he's a running back that will give some substance to this team. He will be a big-time pickup if something ever happens to Bijan Robinson. If you're in a position where you can pick him up, maybe you're a deeper league, or you got Bijan Robinson, and you're not liking somebody on your bench, you're not feeling the wide receivers, you're just trying to keep your fab a little tighter right now, but you want to make a move, $1 on him is fine. You're looking at Najee Harris, and we're watching him from afar. We're watching this Chargers backfield. Aaron Hampton's going to be the guy. Got some touches, but we're still watching Najee Harris. He's a veteran there, but I look for Aaron Hampton to get more work, more opportunity as these matchups flow. Brashard Smith ran 6 routes, and on top of that was in the slot 4 times in the matchup against the Chargers. 13% snap share. Didn't get much opportunity working special teams. Now we lost Worthy. Now we can switch up the game plan a little bit going into this week. Maybe we get him more work in the passing game. Maybe the amount of routes start to rack up. There were also not an optimal game script for them to play around with their new weapon here. And maybe they get to lead in some of these matchups. Maybe week 3. Maybe not against Philly. Maybe not against Baltimore. Maybe against Jacksonville. I don't know about Detroit. They got a tough schedule coming up. Maybe they got to figure out how to use this weapon on the field because he's not just a running back. He got a lot of run with the ones this offseason, preseason, training camp, getting work out of the slots, getting work out of the backfield, catching balls. He's a former wide receiver. He runs good routes. He's got 4.3 speed. He's a weapon on this team that he's like a club that you pull out your bag that you use for certain situations. Not even like the club that's with your set. He's that club that, hey, I'm going to pull out today. This is my special wedge, special degree wedge that I'm pulling out. I'm going to see if I can get this on the green today from this rough spot. That's Brashard Smith. And if he gets him on the green, he's going to get more work. And this was his first game. He's a late round pick. For where he went in the draft, for him to run 6 routes, for him to get a 13% snap share, that is a win, and you can get him for $1. Rico, Dowdle, if something happens to Chuba, next man up easy. 3 targets in this game, 34% snap share, former 1,000-yard rusher for the Cowboys. If you're looking for a veteran, I don't know if you want to go after handcuffs for the Panthers, but if you're in a position where maybe you're in a deeper league or he just got dropped and you're like, I don't like what else is on the waiver wire, I don't know these names, that's a name that could potentially help you out. I do not expect them to be in many game scripts where they're ahead pounding it out with the run game. So really, if I got Chuba and I want to make that move, cool. He's cheap. He's free right now. If you want to pick him up, Jaydon Blue's even cheaper probably in your league because he was out. But this is a long-term play. So this is a running back that you're going to shuffle the deck with. And a lot of teams in fantasy football is going to be shuffling the deck with. But we're looking at the Cowboys. They're 0-1. Javonte Williams had a good game. But we got a full season ahead of us. And he could be used in the passing game. He's got 4.3 speed. Eventually, the cream's going to rise to the top. Or he's going to get his opportunity. As it's still a very ambiguous backfield. You got a full season. It could be 10 weeks from now. 12. It could be Christmas time. Could be the story of Jaydon Blue. But still, 4.3 speed, can catch the ball out of the backfield. Could be the change of this offense that helps this team out. They may have to pull some strings to figure things out. Injuries. Javonte Williams has been banged up before with the Broncos. Miles Sanders has an extensive injury history throughout his career. Plus, he's an older running back. Jaydon Blue is a running back to stash. Isaac Guerendo, shotgun running back prospect. We got a scare with Christian McCaffrey. Brian Robinson Jr. rostered most cases. Guerendo could be a pickup. He might get work with Brian Robinson Jr. as they're different running backs. Touches could go up in that situation if Christian McCaffrey goes out. That is something to look at. Maybe more for deeper leagues. Really going to be hard for 12-man, 16 to 14 round leagues, depending if you got kickers, defenses to roster as well. You're looking at Isaac Guerendo, though. Shotgun running back. Good size. Showed off last year. Had some good games. Kenneth Gainwell's getting to work. But the thing about this, Arthur Smith's still there. I believe this is just going to be a mess with Warren, Gainwell, Caleb Johnson. And every time I did a video, a unique video on Warren or Caleb Johnson, I had a funny picture of Arthur Smith. And I went in depth on that. I went heavy in depth on that. You can pick him up if you may. It could be a head scratcher, but still with it being a head scratcher in some of these matchups, he's going across the goal line. He might get 3 to 4 touchdowns this year, but with those touchdowns, those are going to be games where he's fantasy viable and games where you can moneyball it. So maybe in deeper leagues, 12-man leagues where you drafted 16 rounds or less, it's going to be hard. Braelon Allen, not so many touches. Breece Hall's the man. He got a touchdown. That's something to pay attention to. He was second in line in touches on the team. If something happens to Breece Hall, I'm going to want Braelon Allen still. They're going to run the rock. They're going to run it a lot. They've been talking up Braelon Allen a lot this offseason. They like him as an RB2, getting RB2 touches, not 1B touches, 31% snap share. If something happens to Breece, they're looking at Braelon. He will be a hot commodity off the waiver wire. If something happens to Breece, Looking at Miles Sanders here. He got some work. He had a long run. He also coughed up the football. Probably will be in the doghouse a little bit. As shoddy seems like he's one of those coaches. But still, 4 rushing attempts, 18% snap share. I don't expect him to get enough work to be fantasy relevant on his own. He would need Javonte Williams to go down. And I think when Javonte Williams goes down, they'll realize Miles Sanders ain't it, as he's always stretching to play. And then they're going to roll over to Jaydon Blue. But still, in short instances, that doesn't really matter if he's out there on the field. As long as he crosses the goal line, has a couple big runs, he could still help you out. Isaiah Davis, like we talked about with Braelon Allen and Breece Hall, if Breece Hall goes down, he's going to get opportunity. He's going to get work. They like to use these running backs. This team is built to run the football. He got work when Breece Hall was out, him and Braelon Allen, and touches matter. Touches matter. It may not always hit, but he will be getting touches. He will be on the field. We already have a small sample of what that looks like. Tahj Brooks, you got nothing out of him, but if something happens, this team breaks down, they're going to go his way. Chase Brown was in the same boat before he became Chase Brown. Something to pay attention to. Attrition's going to happen. We're going to be looking at these running backs. If you're in a 14-teamer, you got extra space, you don't like what's there, you got Chase Brown, maybe you look at him, but you might be holding for a long time because something really is going to have to happen for Brooks. Jerome Ford's dead to me, but I can't be biased because he also ran more routes than Dylan Sampson. He ran 25 routes. He was like top 8 in routes ran among running backs. He could be a sneaky play in some of these games. Still, 54% snap share. So I can't really say, like, he's dead to me, don't get him. I do have to share the knowledge that I have. And you make your decision because you might be smarter than me. You might be in a different situation with different contexts. You're looking at him. He's still a dart throw gamble. And anything with the Browns is really a dart throw gamble. Joe Flacco, it's the Browns, all that. Rough matchups. Judkins coming back. I like Judkins. He still may need some ramp-up time. This could be a 3-headed mess here with the running backs until they stabilize that. That could happen, or it could be Judkins lift off first week back, week 2, because they got to make something happen. They're 0-1. They got a tough schedule coming up. You're looking at Dameon Pierce. He's dead to me, but I look at him as a guy that could be getting touches. If something happens to Nick Chubb, and touches matter, touches could lead to fantasy production. If that happens, I see him hitting for you in fantasy, getting 10, 12 points or more in like 1 out of 3 games. And that's a rough context. That is a macro analysis, but that's due to touches, opportunity, vision. And also I'd be looking at Woody Marks. I would still pick up Woody Marks over him. Woody Marks would be getting a lot of hype, and Woody Marks has more upside if that happens, where Dameon Pierce will be getting touches. He'll be clogging his way to like 10 to 12 fantasy points. You're hoping for him to cross the goal line, where I'm shooting with that $1 off the waiver wire with that fab to try to win the league with Woody Marks. And if it doesn't work, I return him and try to do it again the next week or 3 weeks later or whatever happens. That would be the strategy with that if something happens here in this backfield. That's the waiver wire at the running back position. Of course, there's more. If you got more, drop in the comments below. I love helping you guys out. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I got more coming at you, especially today. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.